To begin with, I'm going to be talking more about content. All right. What is content? Content is about information. All right. And when we think of information, it's like any piece of words or pictures or pieces of data that conveys idea. All right. If anything that you put together has a picture of idea in it, it's called information. All right. It could be a poster or let's say a billboard, pictures on it, or it's a cartoon, or they've just put words in it, or it could be some sort of a big screen on the street, a video on it, trying to convey a message, trying to explain an idea. That is information. So what are we trying to say here? What we're trying to say is, in whatever form it appears, content also conveys ideas. All right. This is a continuation of digital marketing webinar, and our main focus tonight is content in digital marketing. Okay, and when we talk of content in digital marketing, is a marketing strategy used to attract, one, engage, two, and return an audience by creating and sharing relevant articles, videos, or podcasts, or any other media. All right, so content in digital marketing is all about trying to sell your brand, trying to meet with people and tell them what you do. All right, and trying to copy them to like your ideas and whatnot. Okay, so what we're trying to say right now is it establishes expertise, promotes brand awareness, and keeps your business top of mind when it's time to buy what you sell. So content really helps you to align or to design or to speak the idea about your product to the audience. Getting a little bit deeper, we had those three things. All right. To attract, to engage, and to return. All right, so we would love to get deeper with those three. Okay, so when we talk of attraction, we have to find best ways to reach your target. Okay, you create useful and relevant content. It's not just a matter of saying I sell mangoes, then if I put a mango on my flyer, everything is going to be all good and people are going to know that I sell mangoes. But you have to put in effort and make sure that your content is useful and also relevant. All right. And the best way to do this is providing them with useful and relevant content. You have to write about topics of interest. All right. Some people take advantage of situations like right now. Mr. Haiya has just won the farm presidency. You can use that as a catchphrase to attract people, all right? And a lot of people know about it. All right, once they see Haiya on the post, they go like, "Let me read about it." All right, so it really has to be useful and relevant. Jumping to the second one, to engage. You have to use tools that are ready to use, all right, or that are familiar with people. Okay, for example, you know how many people are on Facebook, all right? You know how many people are on Twitter, and you already know if you're selling maybe some things like kaunjika, you know where to go with that, all right? You go on Instagram or let me say on LinkedIn, you have to go there with suits and ties and Pierre Cardins and whatnot. All right, you know you have to use the right tool for whatever content that you have created. All right, so if you need to display a lot of information on one slide, do it using graphics or images, and then you also have to find the right media for that particular piece of content that you have created. All right. And sometimes there's some content that requires you to use, say, audio, all right, because if the content that I'm creating right now is targeting those people who drive cars, all right, and you already know they don't have time maybe to watch something while they're driving or something, and then you choose audio and make sure you take that audio to a radio station. All right, so all those, as you are engaging people, you have to use the right tools, and those tools have to be easier to use. The third one, to return. This is really one of the most difficult thing as we are doing marketing. To return customers or to return audiences is really, really hard. All right, but there's also another way that you can get better with it. Okay, you have to use interesting and attractive concepts. Okay, sometimes you have to run your content in series. At the end of the first chapter, somebody has to have a heart to watch this, to get the next content. If it's a movie, TV show, we call it binge watching. All right, at the end, it will have to give you another reason to watch the next one. All right, so it also goes to content. All right, you create a flyer that will keep people in suspense, so that they should know that if this person has shared a tip on Monday today, next week Monday is going to share the same. All right, and also consistency comes in when you want to return your audience, because the audience expect content to be delivered each and every time. Could be weekly or monthly. All right, but that content also has to be very interesting and attractive. Okay, so how does content in digital marketing work? Content can feel overwhelming. All right, it really does. I'm a content creator. Sometimes I don't sleep, but it doesn't have to be. All right, so this is how it works. All right, one, content must be manageable. Allows you to have control over your content. Okay, if content is manageable. All right, it gives you the ability to update. It has to give you the ability to update the content now and then. All right, sometimes it could be same content, but if you're careful enough, you find out that you can be using the same content over and over without losing creativity or attractiveness. All right, and also it has to be sustainable. All right, sometimes, for example, I have a film, The Old Umbrella. All right, but where The Old Umbrella is at the moment is not necessarily a point where I can say The Old Umbrella can have a TV ad on NBC TV. All right, of course I can use my salary for that, but trust me, I'm not going to be able to go to work. I will be worried about transport. So it should be sustainable in a way that it aligns with your practices and mission, so that you can still maintain a good reputation. It all comes to bankruptcy. Okay, you don't want to lose a lot of money on content that you can manage. Okay, so these are the two things that you should keep in mind as we go along. So here are the steps. Okay, the steps that we can use as we are getting started with content creation. You want your content to be manageable, and also you want your content to be sustainable. Okay, so I have a number of steps. One of the steps is identify your audience. All right, you are selling something to people, and you have to identify those people. All right, or you have to know which people you're getting your content to. To create content for a particular reader, you need to have a clear idea of their priorities, changes, and preferences. All right. Most of the times, for example, you're selling clothes. Okay, you target women. All right, women can even right now we have makeup business. All right, it's really working for people right now because every woman would want to have makeup. All right, so you have to know your audience first. All right, who am I selling it to? All right, you can sell one product to one person and make millions out of it. You don't even need advert. But at the end of the day, what matters most is you have to know your audience. The second one, determine the right formats. All right. I come from a village called Nansadi in Cholo. All right. Most people don't know how to read, and they don't care about whether a flyer is beautiful or not. But if I get there with a beautiful animation with no voice, just showing things, telling stories, inaudible stories, they can get the concept faster, all right? Maybe than a person who is in Blantyre, all right? So I will have to know, this is my audience. My audience is in Nansadi. What kind of format should I use for them to, for me to communicate with them, all right? Maybe I would involve a Fumu, or I would involve Ujeni, what do you call this? Nduna and Fumu, making some noise around the village. I pay the person to do my advert because flyers don't work there. All right. So the right format corresponds with what stage of the scale cycle you're creating content for. An audience will judge your content on its quality, and they should identify the right resource, external or internal, to create this work. Step number 3, determine distribution method. All right. You have known your audience. You have known the tool that you're going. The tools that you're going to use, and right now you have to determine distribution methods. Okay, one of them is email, via email. You can distribute via email, especially for those people who, if your target is those people who are working. All right. You can choose. For example, if you are targeting like young people, you know where young people are: Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and whatnot. All right. If maybe they are executive, you can use emails, or you can also use. You can also call a conference. All right. You call them directors and whatnot. All right. You have to pay them a little bit and all that, but your distribution method also matters. The fourth one, choose a sustainable schedule. Okay. Earlier I talked about consistency. All right. You have to create. You can create, for example, a short-term plan. All right. For example, 3 to 6 months. That plan, you have to design that plan in a way that you look at your budget. All right. Am I going to be able to execute this plan? All right. And you, for example, 3 to 6 months, you are sharing flyers each and every day, okay? Or you're sharing certain content, or just maybe an article each and every day. Are you planning on putting them together on one, or let's say it could be a booklet or anything, all right? A brochure or a tract and whatnot. You also, that's where you have to keep track of how long and how much it takes for you to create each and every piece of content. All right, because for example, sometimes I start to share weekly tips, and then at the end of the day I stop, maybe because I'm busy and whatnot. All right, but if you choose a sustainable schedule, it really helps you to create a very good plan. All right, I can't share content daily. I can't share content weekly, but then monthly. All right. And if you consistently do that, you'll see that your content is being appreciated by your audience. All right. It has to be realistic. All right. And again, it has to be based on your budget and also resources. The fifth one, follow the best practices. Okay. Compelling content is clearly written and doesn't contain jargon that only you and your peers will know. All right. Sometimes you have to use, for example, the kind of audience that you're reaching out to. All right. Sometimes we use terms that only young people can understand. All right. Like, hey, yo, TN. I don't think my grandfather can understand that. It would be like in Desi Janis. All right. But at the end of the day, to which audience you're reaching out to, you have to follow the right words as well as the right practice. And by doing that, you'll see that your content might be short but relevant and actionable. And that's the best content that you can ever deliver to your audience. Talking of the keywords that we are talking here, these are the main outline or the skeleton of your content. They can either be words or phrases which are actively being entered as query. For example, in a search engine. Right now, if you go on Google and just type TN, I believe the first person that is going to come there is going to be Zeze Kingston. All right. So even in your content that you're creating, you have to have those keywords that your audience would always find it easier to search. All right. If they go there and type Take It Up project or just Take It Up, they should be able to find the content that they're looking for. All right. If they don't find that content, it means you're not really good at keywords. What are we saying here? For any aspiring content creator, the content they create must be relevant to what people actively look into. All right. So don't really compromise on the keywords. You see, each and every artist has his or her own keyword. All right. Kuyamba ulongosa each and every artist right here, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right. Getting deeper on the keywords, the language has to be plain. All right. I know some of us are in China, some of us are India, but what's the whole point of using Indian words when you're actually reaching out to Malawians? All right. You go like, whatever. All right. So it has to be plain language that can be understood by the people that you're reaching out to. And the second one is it has to be relevant. I've already talked about this. Your content should always be relevant. All right. The third one, specific. I also gave another example on that. All right. You're reaching to young people. There are very, very specific keywords that you can use to make sure that those audience that you're reaching out to are able to understand you. All right. It could be it's a combination of your focus. All right, in industry expertise, prospective pain points, and other relevant details. Okay, so you really, really, really need to get serious on the keywords. Here on challenges now, we can't have content, or we can't create content without challenges. There are always challenges. All right. When you are creating content for an unknown audience, all right, you have to have a very known audience, as we said earlier. All right. Reach a wider audience and increase brand visibility. And you also have to make sure that those audience that you're reaching out to, you know them better and you know what they need. All right. So how can you get better with that? You have to get audience feedback. Okay, every website has to have like a feedback section. All right, once you have posted a flyer, keep comments open, or let people comment, even those people who hasn't liked your page. Okay, because it really helps them to post whatever they feel like, and then oh, this is what my audience are looking for. All right, so one of the challenges is sharing content to an unknown audience. The second one is actually irrelevant content. Most people do write irrelevant content. This is Christmas. Most of the content has to point to Christmas. Okay? And yet you are creating a content that is sad. All right, this is not a Martyrs Day or a John Chidinma Day or something. We are not commemorating anyone who died. This is Christmas. Okay, so we really, really have to make our content relevant. Okay, and trust me, I'm a graphic designer, right? And most of the work that I'm doing right now is like, Merry Christmas and whatnot. All right, and that's what I'm getting at right now. I'm getting better at Christmas content. Okay, so content has to be useful and relevant. Okay, so solution, make sure your content pieces are thoroughly researched. You have to know. And over the year, I have learned to keep track of each and every holiday, even National Cancers Day, National World Premature Day, even the little holidays that organizations do celebrate. Approach them and tell them you do know that there's a holiday ahead, and then you create content for that. You see that your content gets to be sold. All right, so yeah, research is really good to make sure that your content is relevant. And poor medium choice. This is really common. All right, we have to assess what is LinkedIn all about. All right, LinkedIn is for the big boys. So you find people with 10 PhDs working for 10 different companies at the same time on LinkedIn. All right, so you have to step it up. The content that you're sharing there shouldn't be content about dancing in your bedroom. Leave that for TikTok. All right, so you have to have a good understanding of different media for different type of content. All right, yeah, so what's the solution to this problem, to this challenge? Use a variety of channels and formats, such as videos for YouTube, all right, flyers for Facebook. You want to go crazy, use TikTok. All right, it really helps to understand and get better with your content. Okay, so here's the fourth one: not enough content. Okay, we start content distribution. For example, we are going to be distributing content each and every day, and then come the third day, you have no data, you have no content. It's so boring for the audience. Okay, when I was born in the 90s, and back then we used to listen to a play called Zimajitiga. It was on each and every Saturday, if I'm not wrong. We could wait each and every Saturday, and those guys were really good. Each and every Saturday they would bring us a new episode, and it was really we were really feeling good for that. They dare to miss a weekend, we would get mad at them. That's how it feels like, even for businesses. All right, if you are posting your new issues each and every Monday, it should be new issues each and every Monday. With a new product each and every Monday, should be that. Otherwise, you're going to lose trust in your audience. If you're failing to manage content, do you think you can manage products that you're selling? All right, so make sure you get enough content. So one of the solutions is outsourcing. All right, I'm a graphic designer. I work for companies that do, let's say, printing. Okay, they do videography and whatnot. But every time they see that they can manage to deliver in time, they come to me. All right. They go to Precious. Precious, we need help. All right. Even companies that have web developers, they go to Precious. Precious, we need help. We need to deliver this within 3 weeks, and they surely know Precious can deliver. So outsourcing is really a solution to a very good solution to a company that doesn't have enough content. Okay. Fifth one, inconsistency. When you don't have enough um, content, it leads to inconsistency. All right. People should expect your content to be delivered on such on a specific day, and then if you don't deliver, it really breaks your heart. So you have to deliver the content consistently. If it's every Monday, it has to be every Monday. It's every Friday, it has to be every Friday. Promotion every weekend, it has to be promotion every weekend. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. All right. Solution, you have to schedule. Thank God we have Facebook, we have Instagram, I think Instagram too, yeah. LinkedIn. You can schedule posts. Sometimes if I'm going to be busy next week, I just schedule all the posts and sit down, all right? And get enough content, and outsourcing, again, really helps. With that being said, let's jump to now types of content. So I'll just cruise through this type of content because there are many. All right, we are talking of video, we're talking of audio, we're talking of infographics. All right, you make a small videos, musicians do that, actors do that, social medias influencers do that. Even people who really don't have names, they just want to get fun, they also do that. Audios, infographics, and whatnot. We also have podcasts. All right, live audios, all those newsletters. Those are the type of contents that we can be thinking of as we are thinking of getting better with content. All right. We also have webinars, the one we're having right now. This content is recorded and it's going to be posted on YouTube, whether tomorrow or on Monday. But at the end of the day, what we're doing right now, we are creating content. All right, presentations. I created this content. I've been creating this content for the past 2 weeks. All right, and here it is. I'm presenting them. Newsletters. All right, companies do have these. Some of them are released electronically. Some of them are printed. Yeah. And we also have articles, blogs, and interactive content. Right, so all these are types of content that we can think of. Okay, but bottom line, we have to know what is content, how it works, the steps towards creating content, the keywords that we can use. We also need to get to know the challenges, and we also need to get better with the types of content that we can have as a film. All right, so in conclusion, put content to work for your business. Take your business to the next level. All right, well, what are we trying to say here? Let your expertise and unique values shine through by creating content that attract, engages, and sells. With some planning and systematic content marketing, you can reach the right people and drive brand loyalty. All right, so content is king when it comes to digital marketing. All right, you can't run away from content. This is the raw material or whatever you can think of in digital marketing. So you really have to get better with content. Otherwise, if you don't find a good content creator, or if you don't get better at content creating, then trust me, digital marketing is going to be a failure for you. With that being said, I think I have reached to the end of my presentation, and we are not going to take questions right now because Precious is also going to have a presentation on social media, and once he has finished, just keep the questions for now. Once he has finished, and then we'll be able to answer the questions together. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation.
All right, thank you, Mustapha, for a wonderful presentation. I think you have done almost everything. So my focus will be on social media marketing. So first of all, my name is Precious Manyun. I'm a digital marketer. So I'm also a member of Take It Out project. So let's dive in straight to digital marketing or social media marketing. So the definition. So social media marketing is a powerful digital marketing strategy that leverages social media platforms to connect with target audience, build brand awareness, drive website traffic, and generate leads or sales. So social media marketing is just one avenue of digital marketing. So we have also other channels like search engine, websites, and of course emails. So social media is basically using social media platforms to promote services or products. So let me just highlight some benefits of social media marketing. One of which is brand awareness. So we have a lot of people on social media, all these platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, or from X. So we have a huge audience on social media. So we are trying to leverage that to promote our brands. So one benefit that social media marketing gets for social media is brand awareness. We're able to get unlimited audience. We can go into different boundaries. So that's that's one of the benefits. Another one is engagement. This is the power of digital marketing. The power of digital marketing lies much on engagement. The fact that you can even get clarification from an advert or a campaign on social media, which is not the case with traditional marketing. You see a billboard, it's just you, and if you didn't get the actual message, then it's gone. But with social media, you have a chance. Someone can get clarification. You can connect. You can engage with your audience in real time. They can send feedback through whatever means. So that's a benefit of social media marketing, engagement. Another one is traffic generation. So social media plays a bigger role in generating traffic, which is basically just users or customers that visit a certain website. So we refer to them as traffic. So social media plays a bigger role because social media is a different place. In other social media, in other websites, let's say an e-commerce website. When you're visiting an e-commerce website, you have a specific goal of what you're trying to do. I'm going on Alibaba or let's say Amazon to look for ABCD. If you find them, that's better. But once you're done, off you go. But social media is different. We are there to socialize, to interact. You can even go there without any agenda, but you seem to spend more time on social media. So that's another metric that we use to gauge the power of social media. It's not that the case of just traffic, of how many people are visiting the site, but how much time are those people spending on those? Because that is powerful to advertisers. Say, okay, if a person is able to spend 4 hours per day on Facebook, I think there's a likelihood that you see our adverts. So social media, because a lot of us, we spend more time on social media. It's easy to share links of other websites which have specific goals on social media. So you see a product, you see an advert for Amazon. If you click the link, it redirects you to Amazon website. So social media plays a bigger role in content traffic generation to other websites. Another benefit is lead generation. So lead generation, a lead is just someone who has shown a bit of interest of what you're selling or promoting. So you have converted someone from a cold, we call them cold clients, people who don't have idea of what you're doing. So they have moved from that status to where they now understand and they can easily make a purchase decision. So lead generation happens more on social media because we're able to capture lead through social media campaigns. So we run those campaigns whether organically or promoted. Like organic is just the basic way of how we share content on social media or on a social media platform. But when say promoted, it's like you're asking for more than what you have. So let's say, for example, you have a page, a Facebook page with 500 followers. So those are people you can interact with. Okay, so whatever you share with those 500 followers, that's what we call organic content. But once you say, okay, can I get more audience than this? So you're trying to tell the social media platform, so I want to get more people than just 500. So that's where we go to promote. You have to pay to get those extra people to view whatever campaigns you have. So the lead generation is also a benefit of social media marketing. Another one is market research, because on social media, on these platforms, we're able to register, we're able to share our interest. It's easy to do a market research, or by just looking at social media is you're able to get, even if you have followers, you're able to get insights of those followers. So okay, where are they from? Which country? Demographics. Okay, gender. What are their interests? So with that, you're able to do a market research. As Mustapha said, you need to focus on a certain demographic that might be interested in what you're selling. So market research is easy to do with social media because you're able to get insights into customer preferences and behaviors. So let's look at creating social media strategy. So as I've highlighted, social media, there are a lot of social media platforms. So the first question most clients ask me is like, we're not yet there on social media, but where can we exactly position ourselves? So it's a crowded environment where you have to figure out where to be. But these questions are asked because you don't have enough data on who are you targeting. Because if you know your target, you're able to say, or you're able to predict where you might find them on social media, because all these platforms have different users. TikTok is for young cats, or they share videos. So like LinkedIn is more of a B2B platform where it's businesses interacting, jobs on whatever. So you have to have a specific strategy before you dive in as a business on social media. So one of the steps is to set goals. Before you go in there, you have to have specific goals. What are you trying to achieve with on social media? So the goals has to be specific. Like you could be, we want to get more customers, or to increase our following, or to get more reads, or just to increase our brand awareness. So the goal should be specific, measurable. To say, okay, we want to get at least 10 customers a month, 10 new customers a month. Achievable, yes, it has to be realistic and time bound. Say, okay, we want to achieve this goal within this specific time. So we want to get 10 customers in 1 week. So that is one step of creating social media strategy. So setting up goals. Another one is know your audience. This is important. As I think Mustapha has also shed more light on this one. Know your audience. This is important. We have, okay, social media is crowded in such a way that you feel like you can appeal to everyone, but that's not how things work. That's not how you can sell a product. You have to do your market research to know what kind of people might be interested of what in what I'm selling or promoting. So understand your audience, demographics, and interest. That's step number 2. So you're getting to, so you have goals, and then you have to know your audience. And then after that, step number 3 is to choose a platform, because now you have a goal, you have a specific, you know now your audience. It's easy to select a platform. It doesn't cause any harm to be available in every platform, but it's not that easy. And of course, after doing your research on your specific audience or customer avatar, it's easy to select that. I think most people that are my target are on Facebook or Instagram or on Twitter or on TikTok. So you can choose a platform. You can easily choose platform when you have goals and of course your target audience set. The fourth one is content strategy. I think Mustapha has done a very good job on this one. So you need to have a plan. You can't just go out there and start posting. And posting is not marketing, but marketing does involve posting. So you need to know when, where, and how, and which content can I post on what platform. So most of us shed more light on videos, infographics. So you know what content works on what platform. So content strategy, you need to have one as a business or as an individual, just as any Facebook or any social media user. And the fifth one is consistency. I think most of us also mentioned this. Because social media is about interactivity. We're trying to interact. So it doesn't make sense, let's say you have a plan or a content calendar where you're posting once a month. It won't be surprising if you don't get interactions or reactions or feedback from your post, because you're not being that consistent. I think more social, because the ultimate goal of social media is to share content. So more means more on social media, because the more you share content, the more audience you get, the more interaction you get, because people are always sure that you're going to post something. Because with business, it doesn't have to be always what you're selling or what you're promoting or services that you're offering. You just have to be creative on creating content that will enable you to be consistent enough on your social media platform, because the ultimate goal, besides marketing, the ultimate goal of social media is just to interact. So make sure that the interaction is there. You don't have to be too serious on social media. Another one is engagement plan. So you have to know when to respond, comments, messages, and engage with your audience. This is very important, because you get to a point where a brand is big enough. It doesn't make sense for someone who is promoting their product or services on social media to be responding messages maybe 4 or 8 hours later. There's a high chance that somebody who was requesting for certain information won't be texting or commenting again, because it took you a lot of time to get back to those customers. So you should have an engagement plan. Okay, how are we going to do it? So what's the maximum time we can take to respond to clients' comments or messages? So we'll discuss later on how we can automate this. Sometimes it's not practical. You get too much like comments or messages for a person to reply in good time. So solutions are there. So I think this is it about creating a social media strategy. But this I also wanted us to just look at challenges. There are challenges on social media, but there could be a lot. But we're trying to be positive, to use this tool to its maximum potential. So I isolated two challenges which mostly affects most of people interacted with, especially as a digital marketer. You get more feedback from people. Say like, okay, I used to do this a year ago, it was working, but now I'm not getting the same like kind of engagement I used to, but I'm doing the very same things. So I thought of citing some challenges that social media platforms presents, and we can highlight how to deal with them to make sure that we get the maximum potential on social media platforms. So the first one is algorithm changes. Algorithm changes. So basically, an algorithm is just step by step of achieving a certain solution. So these steps you go through to achieve a certain uh, goal. We can just refer them as algorithms. So you agree with me that most of these social media platforms are different. Okay, they are different, but what we're trying to do is literally the same. We're sharing content. We can upload videos. We can write text. We can uh, we can also post statuses. But the way that is achieved, the way we post on Twitter and Facebook is slightly different. And this is just the way of algorithms. The way algorithm, so the Twitter algorithm is different from the Facebook one, and very different as well from TikTok one. So algorithm says a lot on what kind of content to promote, what kind of content works better on that platform. This is just because of algorithms. So the algorithms are changing each and every time, and this affects organic content reach, because the ultimate goal of these social media platforms is to maximize their profits. So the more they're doing changes to the algorithm, the more it is affecting the performance of organic content, therefore driving us towards paid advertising. But that's their primary goal. They want to make us pay for advertising because organic content is not profiting to them. So as a digital marketer or someone interested in marketing on social media, you should be aware that platforms are changing in terms of algorithms, and this is happening at a very fast pace. Like we can say every 3 months. The way Instagram was working last year and this year is totally different. It's just like you're interacting with a different platform. So algorithm changes affect organic content, as I said. So you have to frequently update yourself on how the algorithm is working to make sure that you are able to promote content on a platform in a light way, and you should be able to work with organic content as well as paid content. So algorithm changes should be constantly viewed as something that really affects the performance of your marketing on a certain social media platform. Another challenge is negative feedback. Now, it sounds funny. Sometimes we say negative feedback, but you should, as a business or as any person, should understand how social media works. So we are trying, as much as we're trying to advertise on social media market, but on social media, but we should also be aware that social media is just like a person with a phone in his or her hands. So they can literally say anything or do anything. So negative feedback, as a business, you have to know how to handle negative feedback. Because also, when I go to a certain website, let's say to buy something, I go on AliExpress. once I'm interested in something, I'll go to reviews. You can easily tell from the reviews that, oh, no, this is positive. Or even the way of saying this product wasn't what I was expecting. Some people will say that politely, but some will just like trash the whole product like there was nothing. So as a business or anyone interested to advertise or on social media, you should be aware on how to handle negative feedback. I think after this, we should look at the trends. What should we expect in the near future on social media, or what's coming, or what's starting, or what's trending on social media as far as social media marketing is concerned? So the first one is augmented reality and visual reality. I think I mentioned this in the first webinar on the fundamental principles of digital marketing. So so the experts are calling this era as Web 3.0. We're in Web 3.0. So a bit of background. We're coming from, let's say, from 1993, 94. We're coming from, that was Web 1.0, where we have the internet or the websites were just a bunch of text, static text. It was more or less like just reading a book on a web browser. So there's no interactivity. But now going towards Web 2.0 from 203 to 204, that's where the game changed. We have Facebook coming in, YouTube, the beginning of YouTube. Now it's more or less like the interactivity is there. We are trying to interact, we can post, we can comment. So it's like you're talking to someone, there is communication. So that was a big move to internet, because that's when advertising on social media platforms becomes more effective, as these platforms are able now to store data. We're able to register, so they can store data to make sure that some people say that they do sell the data to advertisers, but because the internet is more interactive, people or these social media platforms are able to keep data of who we are, what we're doing on social media, our interests. That revolutionized the way digital marketing is done. So from 204, we have experienced a lot of changes in terms of videos, even the photo sharing itself, to a point where I think we have almost experienced anything of Web 2.0. Now the Web 3.0 is in place. We have to elevate our interactivity a bit, because in Web 3.0 we are looking now at how best can we enhance user experience. So with, let's say, augmented reality, visual reality. So okay, let's say we can do video calls. Okay, we can do video calls. We can do video conferencing like the one we're doing now, a webinar. But with this augmented reality or visual reality, we're trying to create a visual environment where, okay, because we're doing this visually, but we're able to tell that there's a distance between us. We have this webinar, but I can tell that no, Mustapha is somewhere around, Aiko is there, Manz is there, but we are all in different locations. But with this augmented reality and visual reality, it's that creating an environment where we all feel like we're all in the same place. So augmented reality is just like adding features to our environment, to our I can just call it forced environment or created environment. Say, so with visual reality, it's more or less like, a very good example is like when you're listening to music using headsets. So you put on your headsets, what happens is that you don't hear or listen to whatever is happening to your actual environment. So you have created your own environment where you cannot even hear if someone is calling you. So you have created your own environment where you're just you and your music. You're not hearing anything. So with headsets, so it's more or less like the same here. We're trying to enhance the user experiences. So this will also have a lot to do with how we advertise, because advertising is also changing based on how we interact on social media. The way we're interacting, the more technologies are coming in on interaction on social media, the more changes are brought in on how we can advertise as well. So one of the most important trends that we must expect is augmented reality and visual reality. The other one is chatbots and AI, automated customer interaction. I think I mentioned this when I was talking about a challenge where you need to have a plan. Okay, you need to have not a challenge. I think I was talking about you need to have a plan on how you can interact with customers. Say, okay, let's say you're getting messages, your comments, how you can interact with that. So chatbots and AI have automated those customer interactions, because sometimes it's just overwhelming for a company, say, to assign people to be responding to messages or feedback like manually. If you're getting let's say 2,000 comments or feedback that needs response, for you to it's almost impossible for you to be replying instantly or in real time. So with chatbots and artificial intelligence, it's able to automate interaction. I think we have been doing this. If you visit some websites, especially with those chats, it'd be like you're talking to someone, but it's just an AI tool. You're asking questions, it's able to answer quickly and quickly. So I think this is one of the trend, chatbots and artificial intelligence. The last one is social comments. So now it's more or less like what we are doing is just interacting. We're trying to promote products or services on social media, but the actual purchase is happening somewhere. So you can promote the product. So it's either someone will provide the location of where you can find them physically, or they can attach the advert with a link to a website where you can do the actual purchase. Just like let's say Amazon is advertising on Facebook, and they'll put a link where once you click it, it will redirect you to Amazon where you can do the actual purchase. So the trend is the social media platforms to create marketplaces where we can do the actual purchase right there on a social media platform. Like for instance, Facebook it has now for our marketplace. So I think what is meant with that marketplace is where we can do the actual transaction. You can say, okay, I like this, and I can also pay right now. So I think this is where we are going: social comments, direct purchasing within social media platforms. And so let me just conclude my presentation by saying, okay, social media marketing is a dynamic and evolving field that requires adaptability and creativity. As Mustapha mentioned, content creation involves a lot of creativity. You have to be creative. You have to have a lot of ideas. You have to know what's happening. You have to be alert on any trend that might affect your marketing strategy. So regularly analyze your performance. Like enough, social media platforms are able to provide performance of campaigns. If you do a campaign now, you'll be able to get numbers on how many people interacted with it. If it was a website link, how many people clicked, how many people really visit the website. So you're trying to get, you're doing all this to analyze your performance, so you stay updated on platform changes and experiment the new strategies to keep social media places effective and engaging. So reaching this far, I think I've exhausted what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for your attention. And if there are any questions, I think Mustapha will take over and I'll be able to respond to those questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Precious. It was indeed a wonderful presentation as well. And I believe we all have learned things that we didn't know about social media and what social media is all about. And with that being said, I don't want to take most of our time. We can ask the questions. It could be about the previous presentation or this one too, or comment or anything.